Being an engineering student, I realized one thing, and that is imagination is indeed everything. You can even ask him because he knows it so much better than me. And with that being said, I took my brushes and journeyed my way up to finishing this painting that I have hoarded since summer. I am more of an expressionist artist, and I paint merely based on my imagination and my current emotions. I do not use grids nor do I use any copies to paste to whenever I paint. Because for me, having a masterpiece that resonates to me as an artist is already what makes it perfect. And that is why I feel magical whenever I see my masterpieces. Because I do not only see art, I see my soul in it. So go ahead and take your brushes and coffee paint with me as I share you the 10 things that I have learned during the first 10 months of 2022. And enjoy as well as we journey what the world looks like in my perspective. Okay, so what I love about coffee painting is the fact that you don't need any fancy material to begin incorporating your creativity into an art. Basically, the things that I have just prepared in order for me to create this artwork is, of course, my drawing, the coffee granules, water, and of course, your paintbrushes and the palette to which you will be mixing your coffee. So, I have prepared my table and laid my sketch to which I will be painting for the day. I also bring out those past coffee paints that I have painted, I think, 2 months ago. Okay, so prepare your sketches with you, and I will just redoing some of those parts of my past sketch that I do not like because there is really a part of me that wouldn't want to continue an artwork not unless I really like it to be the way I want it to be. Because as I have told you, I am more of an expressionist artist and I paint mainly because I am motivated of my expressions and my emotions. If you wonder how I have managed to drew this and to which my inspiration came from or where did I see it, I don't know either. It's just that I like wolves, I like full moons, and I like pine trees, and that's how I really paint. It's the combination of the things that I want and the application of the emotions that I feel at this present moments. Anyway, it's going full moon in October now, and I have just realized how months passes so fast recently, and if you're not aware of the everyday life, you will see yourself shocked into knowing that 2023 is by the back door. So one thing that I have learned in this year is the fact that you live every day and you only die once, but your youth comes once in your entire lifetime. I am a very introverted person and I have spent my childhood years, I think, inside the four corners of my room. Though that may not sound so sad for me because I really enjoy the solitude of being alone. It's just that during my teenage years, I realized how it is really important for you to have an exposure in the outside world, not only to connect yourself, but also to find yourself in the journey and finding the beauty in the connection with other people as well. When I was in my younger years, I prioritized most of the emotions of the people around me and I people please a lot. But now that I am in my lower 20s, I realize how important it is to prioritize my own happiness over anything else. After all, it's my life, my rules, my happiness. I have never realized that I will feel this solitude and inner peace that I am feeling today. I don't know, but being a teenager and encompassing the adulting years is really chaotic for everybody. And if you are in that age, I hope you have your inner balance and inner solitude with you. I have learned that the world outside us is just the reflection of the world that we have inside us. There are a lot of things that has happened to me during this year and I have learned that there are things that we can control and there are things that we cannot control, and I have focused more on the things that I have control over those things which I do not have control. I have learned that I have my own inner power and my inner strength within me, and that using and innovating that power makes me so powerful that nothing ever external can have power over me. Okay, so in this part in the coffee paint, I have just divided my coffee granules into three parts. The most and the very important part of coffee painting is to know what kind of color and contrast you want for your painting. So I have three color groups. One is a little bit pale brown, the other one is the medium, and the other is the extreme color of coffee. So I'll be using these three colors to make a gradient in my coffee paints. Okay, so in this part I am practicing my coffee gradient in a different piece of paper. It might look easy, but it is actually challenging for you to create this kind of coffee paint, especially with great amount of minor details. And that is why I am in love with doing it, because I find joy and challenge in doing things that is hard. If you find it challenging, you could try to paint first in a piece of paper before you incorporate it into your final drawing. So I have applied first a lighter shade of the coffee paint as the background of the sketch. There are really no rules to follow when it comes to creating an art, because it's just an expression of your emotion and your inner person that wants to do and create something out of nothing. In the beginning of my video, I said that creativity is really important. I am an engineering student and I have stopped creating artworks and I have stopped painting because I focus more into solving a lot of engineering problems. Then I just realized that being imaginative is an important factor if you want to study engineering. There are a lot of things that you have to imagine, and you have to have a wide set of imaginative faculty in your mind in order for you to draw the figure of the problem and find the right equation for you to solve it. I have learned as well that manifestation is real and that everything that you speak to yourself manifests in your life. A lot of people see manifestation as something that is bad and evil, but to me, being a very rational and logical person, this manifestation is more like a scientific and a mathematical thing. It's like a frequency which you can attract if you attract it, because your mind has its own ability to attract things it wants to attract, whether be it good or bad, because your mind is like a radio and it attracts the frequency to which you tune into. If you think positivity, then positivity will come into you, but if you think of negativity, you will most likely attract negative things in your life. And to me, that is how manifestation works. I have learned as well that I have to take care of my mind power and my mind itself. In most cases, the world that I am living into is just a byproduct of the world that I have within. I see and perceive the world as the world of a reflection of the things that I believe in. Imagine how the world could be different and the different perspective of every person, because every person has their own perception of what the world is. I have also realized how detachment and the law of detachment is really important in every person. You know, the world is really and rapidly changing, and they say that the only thing that is constant in this world that we are living in is change itself. Ironic, isn't it? But it is a fact. The mere fact that I have lost and gained and lost, and a lot of spiral things have gained and lost in this year. And if you attach yourself to almost everything in your life, you will really get hurt. But of course, same as everything, you have to deal with it with moderation. I realized that if you detach too much, it can actually make you a heartless person. Whereas if you attach too much to things, it can actually hurt you upon departure. I have met as well the different laws of nature, but among all of it, it is the law of action reaction or the law of balance that I love. And the mere reason why it has been so familiar to me upon reading is because it is similar to the third law of Newton. I don't know, you can go ahead and check it. It is almost similar to its first law, which states that for every reaction, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And to me, that is how the nature itself is balancing itself. You see, if you've been into a lot of solitude recently, and if you have had a lot of inner peace within yourself, you could tend to hear a lot of those small words that is picking around you. I am not talking about hallucinations though. It is just that there are really small things that speaks to our mind and to our heart and to everything around us only if we have time to quiet our external worlds and actually let those inner voices speak. Anyways, fun fact about me, I incorporate dried leaves in my artworks. So in this part, I am actually choosing which leaves actually fit well in my painting. I don't know, you can try it yourself too and incorporate it in your drawing and tag me on my socials that I will be linking down below in the description. But of course, above all, the major lesson that I have learned this year is you cannot trust anybody. Actually, betrayal is painful because it comes to those you least expect it to come. What I learned about it is to just always be true to yourself and always be true with your feelings. Not everybody is going to have the genuine and pure heart as you, but do not let their insecurities and their betrayal change you for who you are. Do not be afraid to cut cords with everybody. Do not be afraid to cut connections with everybody because among all, the most important thing that you cannot lose is yourself.